Hi, I just wanted to share a moment of recognition. I was doing an event yesterday, as in I was participating at an event yesterday, Energy Alignment Method. Some of you may know it. I love it. I think it's a fantastic modality. But I was at an event called Expand Your Love, and there was some very, very deep work, which is usually the case at these events because you have 2 days to go fully in depth with a particular subject, a particular area. And what I noticed and what became clear to me yesterday as I was doing the second part of this event was how vulnerable and how raw and how lost I could feel, bearing in mind that we're doing this event online. Obviously we can't meet anywhere to do this, and there's 300 plus of us all in our various spaces online, but we're meeting but we're not meeting, so there's no human connection really. It's all through a screen, whereas previously when I've done the events at a live venue, you're with a mentor, you're at a table, there's breakout spaces if you need it, there is physical support of another human being with you. Now what I noticed was that at this event, as I said, I was doing some work and it was all connected with Hara energy. So we're talking about very intimate issues, and lots of stuff came up for me. Now I've done an awful lot of work on myself over the last 7-8 years, and a lot of work, massive amounts. And this was an area that I touched on very slightly previously, but it was a whole new body of work for me. And what I noticed was how, as I say, how vulnerable, how isolated I felt as these big emotions came up for me. And I was in tears. I was in tears for several hours yesterday, until we got to the stage where we could actually just do the work to clear the stuff as it's coming up. And it put me in mind to when I began my journey, when I started with EFT. And how a lot of dad stuff came up at that point. And I remember being in tears an awful lot when I started EFT, just because what's being spoken about is resonating very deeply within. And it might be something that we weren't even aware of, but it's been sitting and holding and staying in that space. And as I say, I do a lot of work on myself. But the point of this that I wanted to really share was that yesterday I got to a place, or I started yesterday morning in a place almost like I felt when I started my personal development journey all those years ago. I felt just as lost, just as isolated, just as vulnerable, but with the added addition that I didn't have people with me to do the work. Now the reason I'm sharing this is I work with people who have all sorts of emotional and mental stuff going on for them. Depression, anxiety, a lot of fear-based stuff, a lot of apathy, if they can't even get themselves out of bed. There's all sorts of stuff that comes up for people. This isn't the stuff you do by yourself. When I share a tapping video with you, or I show you how to do the points on your head and suggest how to do this, that's the stuff that you use when you're feeling a bit cross with somebody, when you're feeling a bit pissed off, when you're feeling a little bit sad, a little bit lonely, or you're about to eat something you know you shouldn't be eating. The tools for that are really easy. They are the same, but you won't need the same level of support. We are not here on this beautiful planet to be by ourselves. We are here to connect with other individuals. What I needed yesterday at this event, which I couldn't have in the right here, right now, was someone to sit with me and say, right, come on, we're going to do this together, because once you start, it's easy. You keep going, you keep clearing, you're guided, and I'm very experienced in all sorts of energy work. But if you're struggling with something, if you're struggling with feeling depressed, if you're struggling with feeling overwhelmed, if you're in tears all the time, if you hate the way your life is looking, don't tackle this by yourself. Please find help. This is a time, this lockdown and the easing of lockdown is a time where a lot of stuff is coming up for people. It needs to come up. If it's uncomfortable, it's been sitting in your space, it's been sitting in your emotional energy or your mental space. It's time to get rid of it. Don't do it by yourself. It's a really hard thing to transition from, I thought I was okay, into, Christ, what is this? And then back out again into a place where you go, oh, thank God that's gone. And it's really hard to do that yourself. I have had experience when in my early days with EFT and Matrix, some stuff, particularly my asthma based stuff, I would say, I could do a little bit and then I'd know I was getting stuck and I'd distract myself and I would be wandering off to the cupboards for something to eat or falling asleep or going to watch television. It was like my psyche was protecting me from something that was just too much to deal with by myself. So I repeat again to you, get help. The help is there. If you find that I'm someone that you think, actually I wouldn't mind working with you, give me a call. All my details are on my Facebook page or my website, www.yoursoulenergy.uk. Find someone that you resonate with. Do not do this journey alone. And as I had a client last week who we worked with some deep apathy, and they were concerned that it was moving into depression. So we worked together. We had one session, and I had an email from them this morning to say thank you. A significant difference. I have felt a significant difference just from that one session. And when I'm ready and I feel I'm blocked again, I'm going to come back to you. To me, that was music to my ears, because this isn't about me pulling you through anything. This is about you taking it at your time, at your steps, at your pace. Whatever rate you need to go, you do it at that rate. But don't do the hard stuff alone. Please, please, please get help. I got reminded yesterday of just how hard it is to tackle emotional stuff by yourself. So I'm putting out this plea to you to please remember to find somebody to do this. We are a human community. Find another human to be part of your community. Okay, I hope that hits home with some of you, and I hope that means you reach out for the help you need with whoever that might be. Love and blessings. Okay.